Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and wonder, is this just how aging feels? Maybe your joints are a little stiffer than yesterday, your energy dips before noon, or your memory feels a little foggier than it used to. You're not alone. It's something many of us feel as we move through our 60s and beyond. But here's the truth: just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel old. In fact, the choices you make each day can have a bigger impact on your future than your age ever will. The idea of living to 100 might sound like wishful thinking to some, but more and more people are doing it, and not just living longer, but living better. They're staying active, sharp, and full of purpose well into their 90s and even 100s. And it's not because of some magic gene or secret supplement. It's because of a few small habits they stick to every single day. Things that are surprisingly simple and surprisingly powerful. So today, we're going to talk about those daily habits. 7 of them, to be exact. Things you can start doing after 60 or even 70 or 80 that can help you feel younger, stay independent, and yes, maybe even live to 100. And we're not talking about major overhauls or unrealistic routines. This is about small, intentional shifts you can weave into your day no matter where you're starting from. Let's begin with something you probably already do, but with a twist. Start your day with movement. Not a workout, not a long walk, not even stretching if that feels like too much first thing in the morning. Just movement. That could be as simple as standing up and doing a gentle march in place while your coffee brews, or reaching your arms overhead and taking a deep breath while you're still in bed. The key is to signal to your body that it's time to wake up, not just from sleep, but from stillness. You see, the body loves motion. When we stay still for too long, especially as we get older, things begin to slow down. Circulation, digestion, even mood. But a little movement in the morning, even just 5 minutes, acts like a spark plug. It gets your joints lubricated, your heart pumping just a little faster, and your brain sending out those feel-good chemicals that say, hey, we're alive. Let's go. I once spoke with a woman in her late 80s who swore that her tea dance a little shuffle to her favorite song while the kettle heated up, which is one of the biggest keys to aging well. Muscle isn't just for strength, it protects your bones, supports your balance, and even helps regulate your blood sugar. You don't need to eat like a bodybuilder. A couple of scrambled eggs, some Greek yogurt, a protein smoothie, or even nut butter on whole grain toast can do the trick. The goal is to give your body the building blocks it needs to stay strong, because strength equals independence, and independence is priceless. I know some folks don't feel hungry in the morning, and that's okay. But even a small bite of something nourishing can set you up for a steadier day. And you'll likely notice that your energy lasts longer, and your mind feels clearer too. Speaking of the mind, that brings me to another habit that may be just as important as any exercise or meal: feeding your brain with purpose. It's easy to fall into routines where every day starts to feel the same. You wake up, have your coffee, do the chores, maybe watch a little TV, go for a walk. And before you know it, the day is done. But a long, healthy life isn't just about the body. It's about staying mentally engaged, curious, challenged even. That's what keeps your brain young. One of the best ways to do that is to give yourself something to look forward to learning. Maybe it's a new hobby you've always been curious about, like painting, gardening, or learning a few words of a new language. Maybe it's reading a chapter from a book that makes you think, or even watching a documentary that opens your eyes to something new. It doesn't have to be academic or serious, it just has to make your mind stretch. When your brain is engaged in learning, it builds new connections. And those connections act like mental armor, helping protect against memory loss and cognitive decline. You don't have to master anything. You just have to try. Your brain doesn't care if you get the words wrong, or the painting's a mess, it cares that you showed up. One man I spoke with, who turned 94 last year, told me that the secret to his sharp mind was one thing: I never stopped being curious. That's it. Curiosity. That's something all of us can choose to keep alive, no matter what year is on the calendar. Now that we've covered movement, nourishment, and mental stimulation, There's another piece to this puzzle that people often overlook, and yet, it might be the one that makes the biggest difference of all, and that's connection. Real, honest connection with other people. Now, I know what you might be thinking: I like my peace and quiet, or most of my friends have moved away, or even I'd gotten used to being alone. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying your own company. But here's the truth: having even one meaningful interaction a day can do wonders for your health emotionally, mentally, and even physically. We're wired for connection, even if we don't always feel like being social. Just a few minutes of sincere conversation can lower blood pressure, reduce stress, boost immune function, and help guard against depression. It doesn't have to be a long chat, and it doesn't have to be in person. Even a heartfelt phone call or a warm message can spark something deep inside us that says, "I matter. I'm still part of something." I once met a woman who started what she called her one-a-day connection habit. Every morning, right after breakfast, she would pick one person, a friend, a neighbor, a cousin she hadn't spoken to in years, and reach out. Sometimes she'd just send a voice message. Other days she'd invite someone over for tea. She told me that more than the vitamins, more than the walking, it was those little connections that gave her a reason to smile and something to look forward to. That's the kind of thing that keeps the heart young, even when the body starts to show its age. Now, once your emotional cup is full, or at least a little less empty, it's time to shift to something we often overlook: breathing. Yes, breathing. It sounds silly, right? Of course I breathe, I'm alive. But I'm not talking about the automatic kind of breathing. I mean intentional breathing. The kind that centers you, calms your nervous system, and brings you fully into the moment. So many people carry tension in their bodies without even realizing it. Shoulders up to their ears, jaw clenched, shallow chest breathing, all signs of stress that we carry like a backpack we forgot to take off. But when you take a moment, just 60 seconds, to breathe slowly and deeply, everything changes. Your heart rate slows, your thoughts become clearer, and your body feels more relaxed and open. It's one of those tiny habits that doesn't seem like much until you try it. Try this: sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do that just 3 or 4 times, and see how you feel. That's not just relaxation, that's healing, right there. Many people who live into their 90s and beyond have some kind of daily mindfulness practice. It doesn't have to be meditation or anything fancy. It could be a quiet moment on the porch watching the trees move. It could be journaling with a cup of tea. It's about slowing down long enough to notice what's happening inside of you, not just what's happening around you. And here's where things get really interesting. When you start to slow down and breathe, you become more aware of how you're really feeling. That's where we can tune into the next habit: gratitude. Now, don't roll your eyes just yet. Gratitude isn't just about being cheerful or ignoring the tough stuff. It's about shifting your focus even just for a moment toward what's still good, what's still working, what's still beautiful. It's easy to focus on what hurts, what's missing, what's changed. We all do it. But there's so much power in simply acknowledging the things we can still enjoy. A warm blanket on a cold morning, the taste of fresh berries, the sound of your favorite music, the fact that you woke up today, because let's be honest, not everyone got that chance. Keeping a small gratitude habit may be writing down 3 things you're thankful for each evening, or just saying them out loud to yourself has been shown to boost mood, reduce anxiety, and even improve sleep. And better sleep? That's another key to living a long and healthy life. And speaking of rest, let's talk about the importance of protecting your energy. One of the things no one really prepares us for is how different energy feels as we age. You might feel fine in the morning but completely drained by mid-afternoon. Or you might have a day when you just don't feel like doing much at all. That's okay. But it's also why managing your energy, not just your time, becomes so important. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every task, every errand, every conversation, it's a withdrawal. But sleep, laughter, nourishing food, quiet time, meaningful activity, those are deposits. If you're constantly withdrawing and not depositing, It's no wonder you feel exhausted or foggy. So here's a small but mighty habit. Each morning, ask yourself, what do I need to feel good today? Not what you should do, not what others expect from you, but what you need. Maybe it's a nap. Maybe it's saying no to something. Maybe it's taking a walk, or just watching the birds outside for 10 peaceful minutes. You're allowed to protect your energy. In fact, you must protect it if you want to live long and live well. It's not selfish. It's wisdom. And with that wisdom, something beautiful starts to happen. You begin to trust your body again. You start to enjoy the little things more. You stop chasing youth and start embracing vitality. And that shift? That's where longevity really begins. There's one final piece to all this, one more habit that ties everything together and makes every other part stronger, and that last habit? It's movement with meaning. Now, I know we already talked about starting the day with a bit of light movement, those first few steps to wake up your joints and get the blood flowing. But this is different. This is about making sure your body gets the kind of consistent, intentional activity that keeps you strong, balanced, and able to do the things you love well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. Here's the thing: we don't lose our strength because we age. We lose it because we stop using it. And the longer we go without moving our bodies in ways that challenge us just a little bit, the harder it becomes to get that strength back. But it doesn't mean you need to hit the gym or run a marathon. Not at all. In fact, some of the most powerful movement you can do as you age is functional things like getting up from a chair without using your hands, walking backwards a few steps to train your balance, standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. These might sound silly or simple, but they're the kind of movements that help prevent falls, maintain coordination, and keep you living independently. A woman I know in her mid-90s swears by what she calls her kitchen routine. While she waits for her food to cook, she'll hold onto the counter and do a few squats, a few heel raises, or even just march in place. She says, if I don't move it, I lose it. And she's right. Strength training, even just using your own body weight, helps maintain muscle, keeps your bones strong, and reduces your risk of chronic disease. Add in a bit of walking, dancing, or gardening, and suddenly you're not just exercising, you're living actively. That's the goal. The key is consistency. You don't need to overdo it. In fact, overdoing it can be harmful. But moving a little bit every single day in a way that feels good and supports your lifestyle, that's what creates longevity. And here's the part no one talks about. It's not just about your body. Movement improves your mind. It lifts your mood. It clears your head. It brings your focus back to the present moment, where life is actually happening. So let's take a moment and zoom out. Think about everything we've talked about. These aren't big, flashy changes. They're simple habits that build on each other. Wake up your body with a few minutes of movement. Start your day with nourishing food, especially protein. Keep your brain active and engaged with something new. Stay connected even if it's just a quick chat. Breathe deeply. Practice gratitude. Move with purpose. None of these things require perfection. You don't have to do them all every single day. Life gets messy. Things come up. You might have a day where all you do is breathe and rest, and that's okay. What matters is intention. Showing up for yourself in small ways, consistently. Giving your body and mind what they need to keep going, not just to survive, but to thrive. Because here's the real secret. Living to 100 isn't just about living longer, it's about living well. It's about waking up with something to look forward to. Feeling capable. Feeling connected. Feeling proud of how you're treating your body and your spirit. That's a life worth stretching out. And I want to remind you, it's never too late. You didn't miss the boat. You haven't aged out of your best years. The best years can start right now. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, 85, or beyond. Every moment you invest in your health, your mind, and your joy, it pays off. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel alive. So if something in this video spoke to you, if a habit sparked your interest, or reminded you of something you used to love, try it. Just one small thing today. and then maybe one more tomorrow. Let it build. Let it become a rhythm, a new way of showing up for yourself. And while you're here, leave a comment. Tell me which habit you're going to try, or share one of your own. What's worked for you? What helps you feel young at heart? You never know who you might inspire. If you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up. It helps more people like you discover this content. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. We've got plenty more coming your way, filled with tools, tips, and real talk about living your best life after 60. Here's to you, your strength, your wisdom, your resilience. And here's to the possibility that your brightest years are still ahead. Live fully. Live well. And who knows? Maybe we'll meet again at 100.